All right, Christmas Day, guys. Glad we got all that shit out of the way. All the arguing, all the bickering, all the disappointment in all the faces of all the people that opened up their presents and said, oh, yeah, just what I wanted. When you can actually tell that they really don't need that junk. Who's going to do the dishes, the arguing, the bickering, the drinking? The whole fucking shebang, baby. But yeah, here's my Christmas present this year. Is a totally decked out Jeep Wrangler 392 Rubicon Final Edition with an Evo suspension system, KM 339-inch BF Goodrich tires, KMC wheels. I think they're GPS wheels or something like that. Man, what more could a guy ask for? Now, dudes, I'm telling you, this is a Christmas gift that's worth a smile on your face for sure. But we do have everything all set up. I might tear into this fender today and rewire the cowl lights so they come on with the parking lights, which means when you put your headlights on, your parking lights are on, which means your cowl lights are on. You want that when you're on a 2-lane road going through the middle of the Nevada desert. You want those cowl lights on and those grill marker lights on and your headlights on. It makes you look like a big 18-wheeler coming down the road, and the people that are coming at you are going to say, oh, let me get out of the way of this son of a bitch. Don't want to get in a head-on collision with him. That's a monster. Just offers more safety, guys. Okay, we're going to walk these dogs. It's a little chilly out today. Let me see if this dog freezes. Watch him. See how he's watching my hand go for the leash, and he's locked in on it. Because, I mean, he watches me. He stops. I mean, he's like perfectly still. Come on, let's go. Glad we got all that arguing and bickering out of the way. I was just watching a couple of the dudes that do videos, dirt bike videos. This one dude, man, him and his buddy, they did this trail in Idaho. Man, you know, some of his rides are kind of boring, but this couple of his rides are very intense. This one here, they got actually lost. Had to spend the night in sub-zero temperatures, or not sub-zero, but 20-degree temperatures, high 20s. Dudes, they were not dressed for it. So that, you know, the temperatures were definitely below 8,000 feet. There was still snow. It's June in Idaho. Trust me, it's fucking cold at 8,000 feet at night when all you have is just a long sleeve shirt, essentially, maybe a t-shirt underneath that, you know, maybe some Under Armour underneath that. That's it. No jackets, no you know, no super warm gear for those type of temperatures. So, you know, they fucking had a chainsaw with them. They needed it. They had to cut quite a few trees, go under quite a few trees. You know, they had a few wipeouts. They went, you know, the guy who does the channel, he went off the trail. You know, pretty much absolutely positively needed 2 guys to pull that fucking bike back up on the side of the trail, back to the trail. You know what I'm saying? One guy would not have been able to do it, I don't think. I mean, maybe if he did it inch by inch. But you know, had a dead battery on one of the bikes. They took the battery out of another bike, the other guy's bike, and just touched the poles of that battery to the poles on the other guy's bike. Nice bike.
Nice job. Underneath the snake.
Yeah. But they took the battery out of the good bike and touched it to the poles on the battery that was inside of the dead battery bike and started it. Good to know. But you know, that's the one bike had a Kickstarter. The other one, all he has is an electric start, which is all I have. Let me tell you something, brothers. I got a good battery in my bike right now, so we don't have any issues, but he's running a very high, very bright off-road light. He had his Garmin set up. Everything was drawing juice, I guess. And he ended up getting a dead battery, so you know, he disconnected everything after that happened. But you know, you definitely have to I think what you have to do is you have to put a switch on that headlight, and when you shut off the engine, because a lot of times your headlight stays on for a period of time after you shut the engine off. Certainly your tail lights do and shit like that. Maybe not so much your headlight, but I think he had his headlights wired so that even when the engine was off for a brief period of time, the headlights would be on. You got to shut those things off. They had to cut trees. They had to build a couple of fires. You know, they had to pretty much sleep in the cold high 20s temperatures at 8,000 feet. Lost. Now they did have a Garmin, and it's one of those ones where you can send out a distress signal. So they did have that, and it was right there in their pocket, ready to do it at any point. But they kept on trucking. They had fuel. As long as they had fuel to run the engine, they could keep the Garmin charged. And pretty intense. I would have turned around personally myself, because I would have been by myself for one thing. I mean, that's at least a two-man operation doing that trip. Like I said, if you run into situations where you have to pull a bike back on the trail, you know, that requires two guys left. And fatigue was definitely setting in with these guys, of course. It's very, very fatiguing. There was very rough terrain, a lot of water crossings, slippery areas, loose hillside trails, where if you got a little offline, your tire would slide off the edge. You know, because if it's just a loose packed dirt. So you have to really stay on your game. When he did go off trail, I guess he butted up against a stump or a rock or something, and it pushed him off trail. He just lost his concentration for that much, and hit something, and that pushed him off trail. But when you get fatigued, you get sloppy. You get you can create errors, and then it can be catastrophic errors. So time to open up this jacket. And that's what happened. But nobody got hurt. They eventually found a Forest Service trail. They ran into a Forest Service trail. You know, they used their Garmin to get a map, so they knew that there was a Forest Service road coming up, but it was still very difficult to get to that Forest Service road. Boy, am I glad I don't have a plum tree in my yard. Those things are fucking messy. Starting to put layers away. You know, I like leaving warm. Dudes, it's cold out. I don't care who you are or what you are. When I leave, I like to be warm, and then I just I'll peel stuff off as we go. But yeah, it was good to see the guys. They do carry weapons, you know, to scare a bear away or whatever. They did see something that looked like a bear in the ahead of them, so they fired around to see if they could spook it. But it was just a burnt log. They were in definitely a burn area. And it's something, you know, when you got two guys, you can muscle your way out of some bad situations where one guy would be very difficult going off trail, and getting your bike back up on the trail can be very intense, brother. And going off trail can be, he went pretty far off trail, and it was a pretty vertical lift to get the bike back on trail, but they both kind of just slid it back up and got it up there. You know, one guy having to do that would be extremely difficult, bro. Extreme difficult. I mean, you could do it, but it'd be inch by inch, and when you got done, you would be so fatigued that you would tell yourself, okay, better turn around. First of all, I wouldn't have done that trail unless I had it on a map. You know, I got to know where I'm going. So I don't know if, I don't think that trail would even be on Trail Forks, to be honest with you. I mean, it was on their Garmin. At least one of the trails, when it forked off, that's when he broke open his Garmin, because they were trying to, they expected that to be a 15-mile trip, and it went 30 hours. So do the math. It was probably double that. They probably embarked on a wrong trail. So yeah, I always carry matches. Of course, were able to start a fire. You got to carry matches. You've got to carry water. You got to be able to repair your bike. Small repairs. You know, some Under Armour layers, additional layers with it would be, those are lightweight, they fold up easy, so that's something to consider. When you go on a trail like that, you know, I take my compressor with me. I'm able to inflate the tires. You know, these particular dudes he had a spare tube that he could put in the tire. You know what I'm saying? So I don't carry one of those, but you know, I've never taken the tire bead off the rim. You know what I'm saying? I'm sure it can be done, but damn, it's got to be difficult. You have to take the bead off to get the old tube out, put a new tube in. So, and to do that on the trail, you know, you're going to need some tire levers, 3 tire levers for a dirt bike. I think the tire levers for a mountain bike might be too weak for that tire. Something to look into. Something possibly to look into, you know, a tube for the bike, and I've never gotten a flat tire, but knock on wood, it's very possible, bro. I mean, with the compressor, you can at least fill it up and go. Glass. I do carry a compressor. I do carry an assortment of tools with me for when I mountain bike, and those same tools do come with the dirt bike. I should consider, you know, would I ever have to tighten a chain? Not. Would you have to possibly put a new tube in? That's possible. A new tube and the levers to get the old one out. It's possible. And then the compressor, of course, we do have that. I do have tire levers with me, but they're for mountain bikes. Did you go pee, girl? Gotta go pee. I forgot. She did go pee. I wasn't watching her, and I want to give her more time to go pee. She needs more time to pee than he does. He just lifts it up, squeezes the trigger, and goes. She has to squadoodle-ish. It takes a little more time. But anyways, guys, yeah, they were fucking 30 hours. Man, I tell you what, man, if there wasn't two guys there, I think he would have sent the red flag beacon out to go come and get him. If it was just one person. You know, when he got off trail and shit or whatever. Who knows? Or, you know, when you know you're lost and, you know, you're facing cold temperatures, and I mean, you are able to build a fire and everything, but and you can build a big fire. Try to enclose that fire in a sunken area so that, you know, the wind doesn't blow the fire heat from the fire away. It has to travel up to where you are. Before it disperses. You know, they had to, you know, try to sleep next to that fire and keep the fire fed. You know what I'm saying? Their boots were wet. I'd have had my boots off, aimed at the fire to go, you know what I'm saying, to get dry, get your feet dry. But certainly I do carry all the shit. But one thing, getting back to that, the new bikes these days, there's no Kickstarter. You know, you can bump start it, but it's very unlikely you're going to have a scenario where you can do that. And it's sketchy at best. You should almost be thinking about carrying one of these real small portable jumpers. I've seen them advertised, so I believe I'm going to look into one of those. I mean, it's also good for the rig. You may not even carry your jump and carry, but I don't know about that, because the jump and carry that I carry in the Jeep, I mean, it'll probably jump the Jeep 7-8 times. I've done it maybe 3 or 4 times on a trip. Left the lights on once. I accidentally turned on the off-road lamps and didn't know because it's broad daylight. That's another thing. Right now I have these off-road lamps to where you can turn them on even when the engine's off. They're attached directly to the battery. Maybe you should consider hooking it up to the ignition. That's the other option. That way the lights can only come on when the vehicle is started or when the ignition is on, per se. I may do that. We may do that. I don't know. We'll see what happens. But, you know, carrying one of these small, lightweight jumpers is an option. Watch it. Hello, how you doing? Hi. Did you have a Merry Christmas?
Merry Christmas.
Come on, come on, come on, boys. Watch it. Ow, 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 ow. So we'll be looking into... Hello. Come on. We'll be looking into the portable jumper. A dirt bike should always have a kickstart on it. For that scenario right there, I mean, he might have been able to push it up a grade and then bump it in third gear. Maybe. And he'll probably miss the first time and he'll have to push it up again and do it again. You don't want to be doing that, bro. You do not want to be doing that. A portable jumper is a very viable thing to carry. I mean, these things are fucking small, 8 inches by 4 inches by 1 inch thick or something. And it'll jump your vehicle several times. You know, as long as it does it a couple of times, we're good. Now, I would. Easy. Hey, hey. Certainly you would test it at some point. Make sure it's charged up completely. Albeit, you know, I generally run into somebody that's got a dead battery somewhere, sometime, someplace. Or myself. I got brand new batteries and everything right now. So I don't see it happening to me. My bike is brand new battery. My Jeep is, of course, brand new battery. But maybe I will switch all the auxiliary lights to ignition. I mean, you're essentially never going to have those lights on without the vehicle running. And if they are on, you're going to shut them off pretty fucking quick. So I think the ignition might be the way to go on those lights, because they will, if they're on for 30-40 minutes, the big ones, you know, the ones that draw quite a bit. Good girl. If they're on for that long, you're going to have an issue with a dead battery, more than likely. I mean, it doesn't normally happen. But something to consider. Maybe the ignition is the way to go with those. Goddamn, I gotta go bathroom too. Broke out the race game, my Xbox Horizon 3 and Dirt Rally 2.0. Broke those two boys out last night. I got this, you know, I was scoring first places in Horizon 3. I get a bitchin' ass car that I race in there, and it's fucking, a lot of the cars are faster than me, but I always get them on the corners. But when I do mess up, they all pass me. So I have to catch them on corners and play a little bumper pull with them. But in any case, the Dirt Rally 2.0, oh my God. There's a Dirt Rally too, the first one. I don't have that one. But I've got a handbrake. I'm trying to figure out how to hook it up. I haven't yet to be able to do that. I got a dude at the house that's going to help me do it. He's one of these tech guys. He can do this kind of shit pretty easy in his sleep. So, but I'll give it a college try myself. I'll update the firmware and see if I can connect it. But this particular Dirt Rally 2.0 I'm running right now is, we're gonna go straight up and go bathroom. I gotta go. Come on, let's go, boy. Quit your fucking looking to piss on my trailer. Go, boy. It's a squirrely car, a lot of power, very hard to hold on the road. I mean, you'll eventually get it, but it requires seat time. Anybody who's any good at these games logs in hours and hours and hours of seat time. There's no natural person that's good at this shit. You know what I'm saying? And I only play this twice a year, Christmas and New Year's, that's it. During the rest of the year, I haven't touched this game since last New Year's. But I can see getting your head wrapped around this vehicle on how it handles and drives and stuff, and being able to conquer this race circuit, you know, get first place. But right now, the best I've been able to do is 19th place. So, and we're racing on pavement right now, okay? Pavement is easy. Once these tracks go into the dirt, oh my God, that's a whole nother fucking enchilada. But in any case, we're giving it the old college try. I've got to go upstairs. I've got to go bathroom.